We want privacy.
The worldwide privacy tour on South Park, it's come to life. That's what we're witnessing in this hospital room right here.
If it's truly what we want, then we really can get away from it all. No more magazines and Netflix shows. We really can live a normal life
that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
The couple have been begging for privacy, and South Park has done a parody of this, and apparently it has really upset Meghan Markle.
If there's one thing Meghan Markle has mastered, it's making headlines, but not always for the reasons she hopes. What was meant to be a tender, empowering moment turned into a digital car crash when she posted a polished, highly curated video from a hospital room, complete with dramatic lighting, soft focus filters, and, yes, a suspiciously oversized baby bump. Instead of sparking admiration, it triggered one of the harshest waves of criticism she's seen since her royal exit.
And now you've written all about it in your new book, Where? Yes, that's right, friend.
In the video, Meghan and Prince Harry can be seen dancing, awkwardly, through a maternity ward, all smiles and staged affection. She cradles her stomach while Harry beams proudly beside her. The captions were syrupy, the hashtags carefully crafted. Hashtag real love, hashtag working mom, hashtag miracle moments. But almost instantly, the internet wasn't buying it. What should have been a celebration quickly turned into a spectacle. Critics called it out as fake, tone-deaf, and Hollywood-level staged. Conspiracy theories resurfaced. The bump looked off. The setting looked fake. And why was a supposed moment of privacy blasted across every social media platform like a press tour? The backlash was swift and brutal.
We want privacy! We want privacy! Hey, thanks for having us on the show.
And it wasn't just trolls. Industry insiders reportedly started backing away. Rumours swirled that film studios, including A24 and production execs at Paramount, reconsidered potential collaborations. The optics weren't just bad, they were brand-breaking. Meghan's already fragile standing in Hollywood took another hit, all over a video that was supposed to humanise her. But the damage didn't stop there, because while Meghan was trying to control the narrative, someone else was already sharpening their knives, and they don't play nice. South Park saw the footage, and within days, a new parody was in the works. What happened next turned Meghan's PR nightmare into satirical gold.
The couple have been begging for privacy, and South Park has done a parody of this, and apparently it has really upset Meghan Markle.
It's so awesome to be here. It's great. So let me start with you, Sam. You've lived a life with the royal family. You've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard.
When South Park sees an opportunity, they don't just take the shot, they load the cannon. The show that's roasted everyone from Tom Cruise to the Pope smelled blood in the water, and Meghan's hospital video was the chum. Trey Parker and Matt Stone didn't hesitate. Within days of the clip going viral, their writer's room kicked into overdrive, and word started spreading. Meghan was about to get torched again. If this all sounds familiar, it's because it is. The Worldwide Privacy Tour episode from last season already mocked the royal rebels with savage precision. Animated versions of Meghan and Harry paraded through media outlets, begging for privacy while promoting books, doing interviews, and making docuseries. That episode alone left Meghan reportedly upset and overwhelmed. But this new one, it's far worse. Dubbed the DEI Special, short for Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, the upcoming South Park episode doesn't just take shots at Meghan, it builds an entire satirical universe around her public persona. And at the heart of it all, a brutally exaggerated recreation of her viral hospital video, twisted into something even more absurd, more uncomfortable, and somehow more revealing than the original. Insiders say the new segment is called Respect Our Pregnancy, a not-so-subtle jab at their earlier Respect Our Privacy spoof. It opens in a dimly lit hospital room where an animated Meghan twerks in slow motion, spotlighted like a pop star while clutching a clearly fake baby bump. Her voice coos about empowerment and love, while Prince Harry, reimagined as a smoothie-sipping, hoodie-wearing creative director, throws out feedback like it's an Oscar campaign. But this isn't just another roast. South Park is going meta. The entire sketch is framed as a chaotic behind-the-scenes documentary. Kyle fumbles with a boom mic, stands on lighting. Cartman, reintroduced as Cartman Kennedy, a callback to his earlier spoof of Lucasfilm exec Kathleen Kennedy, directs the scene like a deranged auteur screaming about raw feminist truth. It's a parody within a parody, and it's aimed right at Meghan's carefully constructed media empire. South Park didn't just mock Meghan, they annihilated the entire production around her. The Respect Our Pregnancy sketch descends into pure animated mayhem. Meghan, now a caricature of influencer culture, delivers dramatic monologues between exaggerated dance moves while cradling a bump that looks more like a beach ball than a baby. The camera spins, the lights strobe, the music swells. It's shot like a trailer for a prestige drama, only everything about it is absurd. But it's Cartman Kennedy who steals the show, barking orders with a megaphone and demanding more emotional twerking. He's both a jab at Hollywood execs and a mirror held up to Meghan's own obsessive image control. "This bump needs more empowerment," he screams, while Kyle accidentally knocks over a light and Stan forgets to hit record. It's chaos, and that's the point. What elevates this episode from satire to social commentary is how far it goes behind the curtain. The joke isn't just about Meghan dancing in a gown, it's about how every frame, every hashtag, every beat of her public life feels orchestrated. South Park lays it all bare. The illusion of intimacy sold as authenticity, the carefully crafted vulnerability that still somehow screams, "Look at me." Even Harry doesn't escape. In the parody, he offers absurd creative feedback between takes, sipping his smoothie and muttering about lighting and symbolism. He wants the scene to feel authentic while adjusting the softness of the filter. It's not just a dig at Meghan, it's a dismantling of their entire brand. And it hits hard. The segment doesn't just poke fun, it explodes the narrative. What was meant to be a private celebration has now become an animated farce, amplified across millions of screens. And the timing couldn't be worse. Because just as the clip goes viral, Meghan is reportedly scrambling behind the scenes in full panic mode. Behind the palace walls of Montecito, the mood reportedly shifted from outrage to full-blown damage control. As South Park's new parody started circulating through the entertainment pipeline, Meghan's team snapped into crisis mode. Sources close to the situation claim a flurry of warning letters were drafted, contacts at Paramount were activated, and behind-the-scenes calls were made with one clear objective: shut it down before it airs. But here's the catch: you can't sue satire. Not in the United States, and definitely not when it comes from the minds behind South Park. Trey Parker and Matt Stone have spent decades walking the razor's edge of parody law, and they know exactly where the line is. They've taken on Scientology, Hollywood elites, and political powerhouses, and won. Meghan's PR blitz might score her some headlines, but in the courtroom, it's a non-starter. What's worse for her camp is that the harder they push, the more South Park feeds off it. Every attempt to muzzle the episode becomes another punchline. Her outrage is content. Her threats are fuel. In trying to kill the fire, she's accidentally poured gasoline on it. And this isn't just legal posturing. This is personal. Meghan's team isn't upset about a cartoon. They're furious about the implication that her public image is performative, her activism is curated, and her vulnerability is a product. The skit doesn't mock pregnancy, it mocks the transformation of something deeply human into branded content. And that's the sting her team reportedly can't shake. Legal experts weighing in are clear. Parody is protected speech, especially when it critiques public figures. Meghan and Harry, having traded royal duties for a $100 million content empire, are fair game. And while Meghan might see herself as a victim of a media smear, South Park paints a different picture. One where the spotlight she claims to hate is the very one she keeps running toward. South Park has never been just about mocking people. It's about dismantling personas. And in this episode, Meghan Markle is just the face of a much bigger beast, the real target, the performance machine behind modern celebrity culture, where vulnerability is monetized, privacy is branded, and every raw moment is suspiciously camera-ready. The show pulls no punches. It doesn't just parody Meghan as a public figure, it tears into the entire ecosystem that packages and sells authenticity. Prince Harry's animated alter ego becomes a stand-in for the Hollywood enabler, smoothie in one hand, script notes in the other, casually directing his wife's pregnancy reveal like it's a Sundance entry. "We need more emotional resonance," he mutters, as if adding a hashtag will make the moment more real. The sketch evolves into a mockumentary spiral, with the South Park kids, Stan, Kyle, Cartman and Kenny, functioning as the behind-the-scenes crew, bumbling through lights, sound and camera angles while watching Meghan's over-the-top production unravel. Cartman Kennedy screeches about intersectional storytelling and feminist framing, parodying every corporate buzzword that's been force-fed into entertainment. But here's where South Park twists the knife. The final cut of the parody isn't a disaster. It's viral gold. In the sketch's closing scene, Meghan's chaotic hospital shoot is edited into a slick, heart-tugging trailer with soaring music, glowing filters, and trending hashtags like empowerment filtered and royal realness. The skit ends not with a joke, but with a perfectly believable simulation of how easily audiences are manipulated. It's a brutal message. The difference between sincerity and spin is often just post-production, and that's the part Meghan's camp can't shake. Because South Park isn't just mocking her, they're accusing her of curating every second of her public life and weaponizing victimhood to protect a multi-million-dollar brand. Whether fans see it as satire or slander, it cuts deep. And in a media landscape obsessed with optics, that might be South Park's most uncomfortable truth yet. While Meghan's team scrambled to stop the bleeding, Hollywood, quietly and collectively, started backing away. Executives who once saw her as a symbol of reinvention began to view her as a cautionary tale. A24, once rumoured to be circling a prestige project, reportedly went cold. And Paramount, they're not just refusing to pull the episode, they're doubling down. Insiders say Paramount executives aren't flinching under pressure. In fact, they see opportunity. After the viral frenzy surrounding South Park's earlier worldwide privacy tour episode, the studio reportedly decided to lean in. The DEI special, which includes the Meghan parody, is now being positioned as a tentpole moment for the show's upcoming season. Promo materials are already in the pipeline, and a teaser is expected to drop in July, timed, not coincidentally, for maximum cultural disruption. Legal departments have already vetted the content, checking every line against fair use doctrine and precedent. The verdict, rock solid. South Park is no stranger to lawsuits, but they've rarely lost. Parker and Stone have built their empire on the principle that no one is off limits, and they've never blinked when challenged. Not by celebrities, not by politicians, not by billion-dollar institutions. Meghan Markle, no matter how furious, is simply the latest name added to the list. And it's not just the network. Within the industry, there's growing unease about aligning with a figure whose media moments so often spiral into PR nightmares. Meghan's Netflix deal raised eyebrows. Her Spotify partnership fizzled. Now, with the South Park episode drawing more attention than any project she's produced, the contrast is stark. Controversy sells, but only when you control the narrative. And in this case, South Park owns the story. The quiet retreat of industry allies sends a louder message than any press release ever could. In Hollywood, silence isn't neutrality, it's self-preservation. And right now, Meghan's name is starting to sound less like a headline and more like a liability. As clips from the South Park episode began leaking online, social media erupted. On one side, fans hailed the show's return to form. Unapologetic, razor-sharp, and devastatingly accurate. Memes exploded, hashtags trended. Cartman Kennedy became a viral character overnight. To many, this was the South Park they missed, fearless, savage, and unfiltered. But not everyone was laughing. Critics called the parody mean-spirited and unnecessarily harsh, especially for targeting a pregnant woman. Some accused the show of punching down, dragging motherhood into the satire crosshairs. The debate quickly split down ideological lines. Was this comedy doing its job, or had it crossed a line? That split only made the episode more viral. The controversy wasn't hurting it, it was making it unstoppable. Meanwhile, Meghan's team was reportedly divided. Some advisors urged her to stay silent, let the moment pass, and avoid giving the parody more fuel. But others, closer to her inner circle, floated the idea of a public response, a written op-ed, or even a high-profile interview addressing how women, and especially mothers, are portrayed in the media. The plan, apparently, was to reframe the narrative and reclaim control. But here's the risk. Going public might do the exact opposite. South Park doesn't just survive backlash, it feeds on it. Every angry headline becomes a clip. Every denial becomes a punchline. In trying to fight the fire, Meghan might just make it burn hotter. And after everything, the Netflix deals, the Spotify fallout, the endless image rehab campaigns, this could be the one scandal she can't spin. Public opinion isn't leaning in her favor. Even longtime sympathizers are starting to ask the uncomfortable questions. Where is the privacy she once demanded? Why does every moment feel staged? And if criticism is so intolerable, why invite it with such overexposed vulnerability? The South Park parody didn't just drag Meghan, it cracked open the larger question. What happens when someone builds a brand on authenticity and then loses control of the script? By the time the final frames of the South Park sketch roll, the damage isn't just done, it's animated in high definition. The episode doesn't fade out quietly. It ends with a mock viral montage, complete with overly dramatic slow motion, botched takes, emotional music swells, and hashtags like Dahmer Royal Realness, Empowerment Filtered, and the stinger Nothing Was Real. The bump was fake. The intimacy was scripted. The tears were lit for the camera. And the internet, in this universe and the real one, bought it all. South Park's message is clear. The modern celebrity brand isn't built on truth. It's built on production value. Meghan isn't being ridiculed for being a mother or for being vulnerable. She's being called out for turning deeply human moments into performance art, all while claiming to reject attention. That contradiction, the hunger for exposure wrapped in cries for privacy, is the real punchline. And it lands hard. Sources say Paramount is now gearing up to spotlight the DEI special as a crown jewel of the upcoming season. The Meghan parody might be just one piece, but it's already stolen the spotlight. From early leaks, other segments reportedly target Hollywood's DEI checklists, influencer obsession, and the endless recycling of brand-safe activism. Meghan, it seems, was just the opening act in a larger takedown of the culture that built her up. But unlike other South Park targets, Meghan may not have the insulation to withstand it. Royal titles or not, the court of public opinion is shifting fast, and this time, even allies are stepping back. Hollywood moves on quickly, and when a name becomes more synonymous with controversy than creativity, the offers start drying up. What started as a carefully staged pregnancy post is now the centerpiece of one of the most brutal animated roastings in recent memory. And whether Meghan responds or not, she's been immortalised, not in gold leaf or royal portraits, but in South Park's twisted animated canon. A digital legacy built not on grace, but on grievance. And the world will be watching what she does next.